Good evening, everyone. Sean V. Bowman in the house. And I want to welcome you to the first edition. And we're using the working name of Brackish, Salty, Fresh Podcast. And I am one of the hosts here. I'm not, we're kind of splitting the duties here, but I'm picking up part of the load. And we got a really cool person here that you're going to be seeing often, and the amazing Christy Bellich. Hey, how you doing? Good to
I'm
see
doing
you.
good to see you too. How's it going?
It's going real well. It's going real well. So excited to do this. We've been trying to do this for a while. So I'm so glad we got this going on. And the first installment, and you actually created the name for this. You created the name for this, the Brackish Salty Fresh. And full disclosure, I'm like, why did she pick those three words and they don't seem to fit? And then I'm like, wait a minute. Brackish is both salty and salt and fresh water combined. So there it is, brackish, because it's salty fresh. There you go. Oh, it sounds almost like an old school like breakdance crew name. We the brackish salty fresh. You know what I'm saying? So,
Right.
anyways, how did you come up with this awesome name for this podcast?
Well, you and I were going back and forth. So you said Brackish Incorporated,
Yeah,
with, and then I think we are Brackish Salty Fresh Incorporated. I'm not sure where this podcast name is going,
right.
but I was thinking about Crazy Sexy Cool, which
Mm-hmm.
is the
Mm-hmm.
best ever.
ELC.
Yep.
Yeah. That
And
was a great
now,
album.
so
That was
good.
a banging album. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
So,
I think that's why I took when I think of it, I automatically took the incorporated off because when you said crazy, sexy, cool, I'm like, you know what? Yeah, we don't have to be a crime family. And so for those of you who don't know, one of the most well-known and notorious crime families was Murder Incorporated out of New York. And they were just ruthless. And so a lot of rappers from New York like to use that name or talk about them or whatever like that because they all about that life. They all about that life. But we're the life we are about, and that's the life pertaining to the Chesapeake Bay and the surrounding 360-mile radius because it incorporates not just Maryland, it incorporates some of Virginia, but then you got to think we got some major rivers that actually, the mountain, they actually dump into the bay, the Susquehanna, the Potomac, and then of course you go further the Potomac, you got the Anacostia. It's a huge Chesapeake watershed, and we really just like all these streams and creeks and rivers, kind of make up the freshwater part of it, and then you got the Atlantic that's coming in, and it's who we are. There's just so much here. There's the food, there's the culture, there's the heritage, that dates back millennia. So, this area was one of the first, you know, fertile areas of culture for the entire nation. You can go back to, I think, the 1400s when you talk about some of the first settlements or whatever like that. So, it's cool that's what we're here to bring you. We're going to hopefully we're going to bring you all, things going on, things that have happened, shared experiences that make this region of the world so unique.
yep,
So, Christy, say some stuff. I'm talking to you.
the
Tell
beauty of home.
tell the people about yourself.
My name is Christy. I'm friends with Sean. Sean is an excellent producer here in the great state of Maryland, but now he's a PA resident because he's a traitor, but that's
I'm
okay.
not a trader. Hold up. I just got real estate up there. That's all. I just got real estate up there, girl. I'm still Maryland strong. It's all good.
Yeah, it's no, but you are like, I think when I think of somebody who's been super supportive over all these years, it's always been you. I mean, you and I, if we if we don't talk for a week or two, it's like boom, we come back and we're like, you're like the realest person. Like if I have a question or if yeah, like you're always hilarious and always know what to say. So yeah.
Oh, cool. Well, see,
Well, I forgot to tell people about myself. Oh yeah, I'm a
yeah,
comic.
this is a good role. This is a good role. Like, well, like, what do you do? Like, what are you known for? What do people know you for?
People know me. I don't know. Do people know me? Are we known people?
You know now. Shoot,
I'm a comedian.
you're a damn good comedian. You know that. You funny.
You funny. You good at you good at making them jokes and bringing people together.
I just bring free crabs. That's all I do. I bring free crabs, and then they show up or whatever. So we just so you all. Let me tell about myself. I'm Sean B. Bowman, born here in the state of Maryland, but I've moved around a lot. I lived in San Jose, California, just outside of Chicago, Illinois. I lived in Wheeling, Illinois, for a little while. Graduated high school, joined the U.S. Navy, and was stationed in Pearl Harbor on the island of Oahu in Hawaii. Got out, became a paid firefighter on the Big Island. Hilo boys, what's up? Stand up on the Hilo side, east side of the Big Island. And I really did a lot of growing up while I lived there. But I became homesick. To be honest, I just missed everything about this region. And I said, you know what? I love being here in Hawaii, but I really want to get back to my roots. So I've been back here in Maryland since 1996. I've got a lovely 23-year-old daughter who's engaged to a lovely young woman named Brittany. Oh my gosh, those two dynamic young women. Just they're purchasing a house this week. They're getting married in a year or so, whatever. And so I'm just 50 years old, grown, living my life. And Christy and I crossed paths on the open mic circuit here in the area. And it was one of those deals where it's like, okay, I know they've got comedy at this one place called High Tops in Timonium. Shout out to High Tops. And went down there, and that's where Christy and I met. I think that was like summer of 2015. If
Yeah,
I'm
it was a
yeah.
while back.
It's been a minute. We're coming up on 6 years now. And she was just this quiet, laid back comedian. And then she has these moments where she's just a ferocious lion. So we became great friends, like she says. But sometimes we go a few weeks here and there without being in touch with each other. But believe me, Christy ain't afraid to cuss you out. She is not afraid to cuss you out at all. So she is a true sister of mine. And we both really want to impact the world through comedy, bringing people together. But most of all, we want to bring some integrity back in the game. Be who
Yeah.
you are. Tell me what you believe. Tell me what you're into. Let's get to know one another. Let's grow, and that's one thing I appreciate about Christy is, she's helped me grow in so many areas. Thank you so much for making me less toxic. I've got a long way to go, but just within my realm of growing up in this area in the 70s and 80s, and all the toxicity that was just normal, and that now is finally people said, we're not going to have these behaviors any longer. So Christy's been a wealth of knowledge on how to make changes and how I interact with people and just being less toxic. And we're going to have all kinds of stories about that coming up. We ain't going to talk about them today, but we got them coming up or whatever. So
Yeah, I mean, I'm here because I mean, I have so much to work on too. I mean, I'm back in Maryland right now. I've got a lot to put in and organize in my life right now. I'm just leaving a car crash in Wyoming last 2 Sundays ago. So put a lot of things into perspective, So, oh wait, Sean, you still there? Am I the only one on here? Let's see. Let's see what's happening. Where'd Sean go? Ah. Hello, Brent. Holler. Okay. Well, I am here. I don't know where Sean is. If he needs me, he'll message me.
There we go.
There
You'll
you
see
are.
when you look at the recording, you'll see I'm a dancer. We're cutting it smooth. Okay. Maybe what I'll do is instead of taking me off, but if you have like You talk for a long time. We can focus on you. So why don't we do this? Why don't we go?
I
There
don't
we go.
want to look
I
at
got
my
the little
phones.
screen, and you got the big screen now. So how about this first topic? Just in
Okay.
the past year, it's pretty much the March 15th will make the first. It will make 12 months that we've been under these COVID precautions. And what are some things that you enjoy doing in this area of the Chesapeake Bay uh, that you look forward to that we haven't been able to do?
Well, I look forward to just being in a restaurant with my friends and without a face mask on. And then, especially at an open mic, which are coming back in Maryland. Um, so I miss that
Hmm. Hmm.
for sure. What do you miss?
Oh man, where do we start? Where do I begin? I think it's just, the general gathering of people, and as in this area, it's almost like a cycle that kind of goes with it. Polar Bear Plunge, where raising money for the Maryland Special Olympics, and we jump into the literally we jump into the frozen bay, the Chesapeake Bay, and do that kind of a plunge or whatever like that. And that's always a great gathering of people. And it's like the first event of the year, and you're catching up with people since the holidays and everything like that. I've even participated, with my racetrack down there, my little remote control Bedlam Micro Speedway, and had a lot of fun. And then, of course, coming up after that, you've got, let's see here, we have, oh yeah, you figure you've got the Preakness Stakes, and I know you have a heritage in horses, isn't that correct, Christy?
Yeah, I did more steeplechase. I did the steeplechase races or going to those.
So what's
Um,
what's the difference between steeplechase and thoroughbred?
well, steeplechase is a type of race. It's generally done in a field with jumps, so they're
Okay,
racing and jumping.
okay.
Thoroughbred is a breed of horse.
See, and I'm learning. See, I am learning. Okay, so what should I call that when you're like the kind of horse racing? Is that just thoroughbred racing, or okay?
So there, okay. So for
Like, so in
example,
other words, you can't take a thoroughbred to steeplechase, correct?
yes. Thoroughbred flat track race, a turf, and then the standard tracks. So if they're specifically thoroughbred track race, um, then those races are only ran by registered thoroughbreds. And
Hmm,
then there's age division. So for like Kentucky Derby, the Run of the Roses, those are registered 3-year-old thoroughbred races.
okay.
And there's a lot of controversy that goes on with that. There's a whole controversy with age in the racing industry. Steeplechase, um, you could have a thoroughbred steeplechase race, but basically a type of race. So like you ride the in those terrible races with those motor things, right? You do
Right.
the motor race. So
Yes,
did
I
it?
do. It's cars and motors. Yes.
I don't know the
But
the
I mean,
motor.
really, I mean, horses and competitions with horses, that's been going on for, I mean, really, you can go back to ancient Greece when they had chariot races in Greece before the Romans, you know. And of course, back then, the horse was key in battle and everything else, and the first Olympics and all that stuff. So, technically, competing with horses, whether it's steeplechase or flat track or whatever like that, it goes way back in the hair. And I mean, really, when did Maryland become such a hot spot for, equestrian competition? Does that make sense?
I don't know. I have to reread the history, but my guess is it had to deal with the fact that, Maryland's official sport is jousting. I don't think a lot of people know that. So, and I also think, Maryland we had like the Calvert family. We had a bunch of royal families here. So I do think that it's the royal family heritage type thing, and that's has something because a lot of the counties were divided by royal families. So I think it has something to do with that. Thoroughbreds are a derivative of Arabian horses, which are a derivative of, um, horses that are bred in Saudi Arabia. That's where that sport sort of derived out of, and I think it was more of a royalty thing. That's what
Okay.
I would guess. Now, some historian can comment below and be like, "Fuck you, go fuck yourself." In 1562, the first thoroughbred was brought to Maryland, and then it just decided to make its own racetrack. You can go fuck yourself. And I would say, there you go. Well, that's a better explanation, you know?
So raw and so real. And what's really cool about this is any of you, if you comment, we can actually highlight your comments. So this is what Brent Raleigh said. Holla!
Holla, holla.
Brent does all my graphics work, and I really love Brent. He's Main Street. I think I got the pen here someplace. Main Street Graphics. Where did I put it at? Oh, I had the pen just sitting right here. Hey, Brent, if you're still on here, put a link up so people can go and get graphics from you. So you were like I said in the competing end. You were feeding horses, you were cleaning horses, taking care of horses. I'm more from the spectator's point of view. The Preakness Stakes, the second leg of the Triple Crown, prestigious, a lot of money involved, but it's unique. Like on TV, when you're watching it in Kentucky, the great outfits, the large hats, the over there, it's a mint. Is it the mint julep? Yeah, they drink mint juleps in Kentucky at the Kentucky Derby.
Yeah.
Okay, the Preakness is ghetto as all hell. Let's just be honest. Okay, and it has traditionally been the elite are in the grandstand, and then regular working class folks like me, we're in the infield, and it's just a raging party. It has always been that way. The cheap tickets, at one time they let you drive onto the infield, and it's like a full day of straight up debaucherous tailgating. And I mean, most people don't even see a horse the whole time that they're there. And it's like it's the event that kicks off the summer. But at the same time, if you guys get a chance to see these horses run, it is poetry in motion. I mean, they are beautiful. It is again, there is controversy with that as far as how the horses are treated and should they be forced to do that and everything. I mean, they're really. I mean, of course. I mean, there's a lot I don't know about, but as much as horse, is okay. Would you say equine culture? Equine? Would that be it? Because it's so much of it here. There's breeding. There's farms that breed. There's farms that train and everything else. And so, I don't know. But I mean, for us, the Preakness is like the beginning of summer. Can't have that. We really haven't had that event going on. Opening day of the Baltimore Orioles. And we are the team that we're going to stand behind, and this is gluttons for punishment. But again, gathering of people, meeting up. Most years the weather's nice. Sometimes it's a little bit on the dark side. But it's one of those things. It's like the game is secondary to just the gathering. One event I really miss is the Baltimore Grand Prix, since I do love motor racing. But it could have been managed a lot better. But I think if we really cultivated that correctly, it could have been an event as big and as prestigious as the car race they have in Monaco. We were
Wait,
one.
when was the Baltimore Grand Prix?
It was like almost 8-9 years ago or whatever, and it only ran. I think it only ran twice. But they blocked off the downtown streets next to the Inner Harbor. And that's the whole thing is one of the oldest auto races in the world is in Monaco. And of course, Monaco is a principality. They got a king and a queen, and it's a lot of money and casinos, and it's on the south of France. It's like on a whole other level. And their racetrack is right next to their harbor. So it's kind of adds to the beauty of it all, So they were trying to do the same thing here. It was just mismanaged. But I'll tell you what, it was a beautiful. The layout was beautiful on the video footage that you can see on YouTube. I'm telling you, it could have been done much better, but it is what it is. I will say this: people in this area of the surrounding the Chesapeake Bay, or as we say, the DMV, you know, which is DC, Maryland, Virginia, this area or whatever like that. We just love a good gathering, wine festivals, good fun. Um,
Oh man, I miss that too.
oh
Like
yeah.
Wine in the Woods. Have you ever been to Wine in the Woods?
Now, where's Wine in the Woods at?
Meriwether Post Pavilion. I
Oh,
miss Meriwether Post Pavilion.
there we go. There we go. How about this? What was your when you think of going to see live music at Meriwether Post Pavilion? So those of you who don't know, it's like one of those outdoor amphitheaters, and anybody who's anyone has come through there because it's almost equal distance between DC and Baltimore, so you get both of those localities and everyone in between. So, is there a show that comes to mind that you went and saw?
God, so many, dude. So freaking many. Like, it's hard to even decide. I mean, I came up in the Warp Tour phase. Do you know what Warp Tour is? You're
Oh
old, so
yeah,
you might
oh
not
yeah,
know.
yeah.
We went to Warp Tour. HF Festival was there one of the years. I saw True Colors Tour. I saw Cyndi Lauper there,
Hmm.
which was so cool. And the Dresden Dolls were there with her, which is like a punk band. And I saw the Virgin Mobile Festival with Ludacris, which was pretty cool.
Ooh.
Where I had fake boobs in at the time, so like I had these fake chicken cutlets.
Wait,
have you
huh? Wait, hold on. Wait, hold
hold
on.
on.
Okay, so
So
okay, at one time okay, were they actually inside your skin?
no,
Okay,
they
they're
were
like inside
you
of a
buy
bottle.
you buy like the thing that people like get surgically put into their body, but like you have like these little like chicken cutlets. They're like they kind of look like gel pads that people
Okay,
would maybe put on like their back to, you know what I mean? So I had those and like, assorted, and, and then we were dancing to Luda because at the time like Ludacris was like the biggest, like there was like
right.
Jay-Z, and then there was, so I think it was like the number one spot. And so we were dancing to that. And the guy came around and he gave us these VIP passes. Like, he's like, ladies, you want to be VIP? And we're like, yeah. And I'm like dancing, and one of them fell out onto the ground and like plopped down during that. That's a memory.
Did you get VIP?
We got VIP. It just meant we got up in the more front area.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, you didn't go backstage or anything like that.
No, I didn't get to meet Luda.
You didn't get to meet Luda. If you would have met Luda, what would you have said to him?
I don't even know. I would have probably tried to rap and really embarrassed myself. It
There's
would have
nothing
been
wrong with
really
that.
bad. You
Okay.
know what, Sean, though? I
What?
saw I saw we were there on the day that Michael Jackson died. We
No.
were at Meriwether. Yeah, shout out to KP if you watch this, but me and nephew, oh, and SG. So we went to Pizzeria Uno's at the Columbia Mall,
Okay.
and we thought we were so cool because we got like whatever their appletinis were. We were like, oh, we're gonna go see Kathy Griffin. And it was the time that My Life on the D List was a show. Did
Hmm.
you ever see that show?
I remember that show. I can't. I never watched it though.
Um, and so we went and we saw her, and then we were at Pizza Uno's, and Michael Jackson died. So we saw Kathy Griffin on the day that Michael Jackson died at Meriwether Post Pavilion, and she even made a comment. She's like, "I'm performing in a tent." So yeah, that's. And also, there's in the whole other part of the story. These drag queens like drove up and they were lost and they were looking for Kathy Griffin, and we walked over with these like drag queens, but they were like off duty. They weren't
Oh, they're
on
all duty
duty.
drag queens. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Merriweather, so many memories already, and it's like hit or miss. I saw Wu-Tang Clan with Rage Against the Machine. That was years ago.
Wow.
That's showing my age here. Uh, Alien Tour. That's it. It was like right around 2000 or like that. But it was what's Nelly
Mm.
Furtado was there, and who else was there? Oh my God, so many others. But the best show of the day by far, Outcast. They blew that place up, and I actually met a couple of their band members after the show, and they were all pumped up and hyped up, and they're drinking beer and then just throwing the bottles wherever or whatever like that. And I was like, "Yo, I always hear y'all talking about in your songs the SWATs. What's the SWATs?" He's that's Southwest Atlanta, man. That's the SWATs right there. I'm like, "Oh, okay, whatever." But that was a good show, and meeting those people. I didn't meet the actual two guys, Big Boy and 3000. I didn't meet them at all. But that was a great show. That was a great show. Everyone was like doing battle raps. It was like everyone was battling each other, rapping or whatever like that, and it was just like crazy. And then I just show up telling jokes, you know, and that's like that was almost 15, 18 years ago. These kids are probably in jail already with kids or whatever like that. I missed that. But anyways, yeah, that's like one of the number one outdoor amphitheaters. How about wine festivals? Like mine is Linganore. Love going to Linganore. Like they have a reggae festival, and everybody comes up from DC and they unload their guns for a day and just chill out, because everybody in DC got guns, And then they've got also have the Caribbean Festival, which is really Reggae Festival Part 2, you know. And then there's jazz or something else like that. But yeah, shout out to Linganore Winery or Linganore Vineyards. They also have the Red Shedman beer. If you're talking about summer in Maryland, carnivals. Oh, every county has their own carnival circuit, it seems like. And, especially between May and August, you just bounce around wherever, Did you ever go to carnivals coming up in this area?
Absolutely, the Howard County Fair.
A Howard County Fair, the bougie carnival. Ooh, here we go. Oh God. Well, any memorable moments at that fair?
What should I shout out the Frederick County? Oh fuck, what was it called? Sheep and Wool Festival.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Good people up there. The great Frederick Fair. The great Frederick Fair. Yes, buy yourself a 3-foot tall rooster.
The Maryland fucking fair, dude. That's the shit.
Oh yeah. Fair. Oh my goodness, and Timonium. I remember one year, Raven showed up. Raven Simone. She showed up and did a concert. She wasn't out of the closet yet, but she's still inspirational and everything. Did you ever compete? Were you part of 4-H growing up?
I competed, but I was part of something called the PVDA, Potomac Valley Dressage Association.
The what?
Potomac Valley Dressage Association, and then the USEA, which is the United States Eventing Association, and the MCTA, which is the Maryland Combined Training Association.
Oh man, that's a lot of you were associated hard.
Mad associated, bro.
Mad associated, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Oh man, and that pretty much wraps it up. Once the Maryland Fair shows up, that's Labor Day weekend. Badass kids going back to school, and you kind of get back into it from there. And then we have up here this way, we've got Fall Fest, which is the final carnival of the year.
That Fall Fest is really good, and Carroll County is really, really good. Yep.
Not to mention, in June, we have the Pride Festival that's held right here at Birdie's Cafe. Shout out to Birdie's Cafe. And they block off the street up here in East Main. And we're trying to put together a Juneteenth festival this year. Well, who knows where we're going to be at with COVID, but we're going to make it happen somehow or another. I'm one of a member of one of the core Black families in this area. And in my bloodline alone, I've got Key, Dorsey, Costley, and Bowman all mixed up, and we date back to 1790 in this area, and that brings up a whole other thing. Family reunions, okay? Who doesn't love a family reunion? Does your family have a family reunion, Christy?
We had one, and then we never had one ever
Was
again.
it that bad, really?
They're called funerals.
You know what? You need to quit. That is not even funny. That is not even funny. Oh my
It's true.
goodness.
Oh, it's true.
So your family doesn't have gatherings of all and anything like that? You poor thing. You know what? Hey,
Not anymore.
you can come join ours. We'll even give you a t-shirt.
I want a family. You ever see a the crab kraken t-shirt family reunion where it's at the picnic park?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's got the same t-shirt on.
There
There's
you
big
go.
plastic buckets. The big plastic buckets where people are taking crabs out of one and putting shells in the other.
There you go. There you go. That's it. You got to know how to play. You have to either know how to play Uno or play spades. Two favorite card games. You got to be able to do that. You know, do you play spades?
You can teach me how to play spades. I know how to play Uno. I play good Uno.
I suck at spades. In the Navy, if you go hang out on the hood side of the ship, you got to learn. I mean, these spades games could be serious, and it's basically I forgot how many cards each person gets, but look it up online and get some pointers. But here's the thing: you can't learn at a black barbecue / family reunion. That's not where you learn. That's where if you don't know, you watch. But at some other time, you meet up with someone to show you the specifics because it's a team sport, okay? It's two people against two other people, and you've got to communicate with each other well, and you got to know how the other person's playing. It's one of those games where more fights have occurred around a spades table than anything, you know. But card games, dominoes, you play that. Horseshoes. Are you any good at horseshoes?
No, I'm terrible at horseshoes. But I have a question.
How are you ride a horse? You can't fit horseshoes.
I want to keep those horseshoes on the horse. If they throw a shoe, that's $250 fucking dollars. Do I got a spare $250 fucking dollars?
Wait. $250 for what?
Horseshoes.
They're $200. You can go down to the Walmart and you get 2 sets for $30.
I know.
Oh wait, maybe those are okay. What's the difference between an actual horseshoe and the ones we're throwing around that we buy at Walmart?
I mean, you get a blacksmith, aka a farrier, and it's formed to their feet. And if you throw that shit, that's $250.
How often do you have to change the shoes?
Depends on the growth of the horse's feet.
On a horse.
So you have to know your horse's feet, generally about every 6 weeks.
What?
Yep.
And so for all 4 shoes, it's $250, or is it $250 a shoe?
Well, it depends. If you're getting all 4 feet, some people only get 2 feet, but I had a thoroughbred, so he needed 4. But I have a question about spades.
Yes, ma'am. Give me your question about spades.
Were people throwing down money at the spades table? And how much money was being thrown?
It all depends. I mean, typically it's just bragging rights at a family reunion, but then a real spades game, when you learn how to play spades, basically, you keep score, and whoever has the highest card, like everyone throws a card down. Okay, well, I'm sorry, back up. You deal all the cards. And so you figure what? It's 52 cards divided by 4. So what's that? That's 116? No, not 16. Everybody gets 8? No.
Between 4.
I know, really. I can't do math all of a sudden. Hold on.
I can't do math ever.
I know. Wait, is it okay? Because with the Jokers is 52. So 50 divided by 4 is 12 and a half. Okay, so you either get 12 or I think it's 13 cards. Maybe it's 52. 52 divided by 4 equals. Yeah, everybody gets 13 cards. That's it. Everyone gets 13 cards. And you look at your cards in your hand and you ask your partner, okay, Um, I think I've got this many books, meaning when you throw the cards down, if you have the highest card of the four, that's a book, and you keep that score. But the thing is, though, you have to have the correct number. If you go over, you're penalized. If you go under, you're penalized. And the trick is, you really want to have more books than the other person, so that say they say, okay, I've got 5, but they only get 4, then you get extra points. I forgot how all that point system. So the bottom line is, it becomes pretty wild because you just can't throw your spades down first. You have to use the highest card of any suit. So usually it starts out with, the ace of diamonds, ace of clubs, and then you work your way down until someone's like, okay, I no longer have diamonds or hearts or clubs, so I have to throw a spade. I think that's the trump, like you trump or whatever, how that gets in there. It's been a while since I played, but go online, get your refresher course. And so each book makes the score, but when you're playing for money, each book represents 5, 10, I've heard, $30 a book. In the military, I've heard $100 a book. It's serious money that gets thrown down. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy. It's crazy. So if there's anybody out there that plays spades, comment on this of a good website to kind of learn spades. That's the one rule. If you don't know, you can't learn at the barbecue. You got to learn elsewhere. Maybe we can do that. Maybe once we start gathering, we can put together, a Brackish Salty Fresh spades tournament,
Yeah, we could do card tournaments. We could do our own casino.
And speaking of cards, you do things with cards, don't you?
I do tarot cards, but I think lately I've had to step back because I kind of feel like the world is going through changes, and I need to step back and figure out what those changes are.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. But it's interesting that you don't have to have tarot cards to do that. You can use a regular card deck, correct?
Yeah. Yes, you can.
How did that happen? How is it that a card deck is related to tarot cards?
So card decks represent all of something called the minor arcana cards in the tarot card spread. And that is all the cards after the first 22 cards in the tarot deck. So every playing card represents a tarot card.
And you've memorized each card and what it is, like its corresponding tarot card.
Well, so for example, the spades represent air or swords. We have clubs, which represent stabs or fire. We have hearts represent cups or water. So, like, for example, in the tarot deck, you would probably be the King of Cups as your card because you're the King of Water. So so that would be like your playing card would be the King of Hearts, most likely. And then what's it? I said spades, clubs, hearts,
and diamonds.
And the diamonds represent pentacles or earth.
Okay.
So
see, I didn't know that until one day you were doing that, on one of your Facebook Lives, and you just had a playing card. I'm like, oh my goodness, I never thought of that.
And so I tell people who are learning the tarot just to go to the dollar store and get themselves a playing card deck instead of, so they can learn, because it's about your intuition. It's really not about the card itself, because you and I could pick the same card and it means something different for you and it means something different for me. So so that's how it kind of works. It's about your internal self.
Okay. Do you have a fond memory of going to a black barbecue / family reunion? Like, what comes to mind? You've been waiting to talk about this for the last half hour, and you've done a great job of bottling it up. She's normally not this shy, but she's been wanting to talk about the black barbecue experience this entire past half hour or whatever like that. Yeah, we've been on for 39 minutes. So give us your fondest memory of a black barbecue.
So back in the day, I kept my horse on a farm in Burtonsville, Maryland, which just so happened to be it was a historic farm. So it was owned by the Washington Therapeutic Riding Association, but they had festivals there, jazz festivals, and it was the best food I've ever had in my entire life. They made these sort of it was sponsored by Zydeco Jazz Festival,
Okay.
and it was like this Cajun sort of mix with like shrimp that I don't understand. Like God made the shrimp. Like I think that this was the best food I've ever had in my life, best music I've ever heard, and I miss that, and I think that that should come back. So I didn't get it. Oh, I think I did. I think I got a T-shirt. I think I got a T-shirt.
That means, look, that means you was part of the family, okay? And you understand that when if you went there and they gave you a plate of food and a T-shirt,
So good.
that was that when they gave you the T-shirt, that was the women there, the patriarchs. They were letting all the young stud men know, hey, we approve this white lady for y'all to date. We can bring her back. So that's whether you knew it or not. When you put that T-shirt on, identified you as, this is a white woman you can bring back around here. Because if you saw a white woman there without a T-shirt, that was the side hoe. Okay, and that signifies, don't ask her name, don't remember her name, because you probably ain't gonna see her again, and just don't make it awkward. So she ain't that special. She can, whatever. So three things. Okay, if anyone here that listens to this, if you guys go to a large black gathering, three things to remember. Number one, never bring store-bought food. Okay, no cookies, no casseroles, no none of that. If you're gonna bring food, you have to cook it. It has to be something you cook. So get this: you can get Hamburger Helper out the box. At least cook it and put it in some Pyrex. Okay, get you some Pyrex and say, hey, I brought some food. Everybody be happy. Hey, you put some effort into it. At my family, we had a separate table right next to the trash can for all the non-cooking fools who brought store-bought food. Just shove it right all up in there. There you go. So lesson one, don't bring store-bought food. Lesson number two, kids will get beat at a black barbecue. Okay, it happens early. We set the tone, and we do this to just remind them that you ain't down the street hanging with your little suburban friends. This is real right here. Okay, so usually within their first 20 to 36 million, I'm 36 million, 36 million minutes, we'll give each kid a cookie. Let that sugar set in. And the first one to act out, you just wear his butt out. And you make sure the other kids watch, set the tone. Okay, so kids will get beat at a black gathering. It's just what we do to keep the peace, whatever like that. And number three, okay, if you are a single woman and you show up at a black barbecue and there's alcohol, you're going to have 3 or 4 cousins show up and holler at you at different times throughout this barbecue. Okay, it's just going to happen and whatever like that. So here's how you combat that. If you don't want to be bothered, then you want to sit by the big girls. Okay, hang out with the big girls, play cards with the big girls, get to know the big girls. Okay, the big ladies, they will kind of shelter you so you can have a good time to learn what's going on, and then the other dudes won't show up and kind of ruin your day or whatever like that. Okay, but again, if you do want to holler at any of the people there, okay, ladies, you have to earn a T-shirt. Okay, dudes, you got to be ready to pay for hair and nails. Okay, that's just all there is to it. Don't play this game of we're going Dutch. Dutch don't live here no more. So and everything like that. So just keep those things in mind. And you'll be just fine. You'll be just fine. But anyways, it is a unique experience. Everywhere I've moved to, every family and every culture does it differently. Living in San Jose, California, you celebrate Cinco de Mayo, and that's a big, Mexican deal holiday. It celebrates, Mexico being independent from France or Spain or whatever. But big party, big gathering, and they have their own rules to their family cookout gatherings. Living in Chicago, I have Jewish friends. They do one thing. I've got Armenians friends. They did something else. Irish friends. They did something. Of course, my Italian friends did something all different. Every event was a family reunion. It could be barbecue. It could be, the first communion, all those things. That was wonderful. My favorite, though, was in Hawaii. In Hawaii, it was just everyone. It's on an island. Everyone's related anyway. So they would just pick a day and everyone shows up, And the same thing there. It was very similar to a black barbecue, but it's, oh man, so many dishes because everybody's got, you got Filipino, Hawaiian, Japanese, Chinese, Puerto Rican, and that whole mix, Portuguese. And it's just so many flavors, And they love seafood out there. You're on an island, there's plenty of seafood. But what's the seasoning? Tell the people, Christy, tell the people, when it comes to seasoning food in this region, what do we use?
We use Old Bay.
All about the Old Bay.
All day.
All day, Old Bay. There's different versions, There's this other kind of off-brand, kind of an underground type thing that some people use. Nah. It's like, for those of you that love hot sauce, and you go to a restaurant and you say, I want Tabasco, and then they bring you Texas Pete's. I said, no, I want Tabasco, okay? It's the same thing here. I want some Old Bay. Give me that Old Bay. Old Bay on the crabs. Old Bay on the shrimps. Old Bay on steamed corn. What? We put Old Bay on beef jerky. Shout out to Red Truck Beef Jerky. Let me make sure you get some too. We really want to build this podcast. We want people to participate, and we can show you in the comments and everything like this and that. If you see the podcast, make sure you holla. There we go. I'm highlighting the comments or what have you. So, all right. Well, listen, we've been on here for 47 minutes. How about we wrap it up? I mean,
we've been on here. We've talked about food. We've talked about T-shirts. The importance of the collective T-shirt, the family T-shirt.
Yes, the family T-shirt. Now we have to make one for the podcast. We have to make a family T-shirt for the podcast.
It has to have a crab mallet on it.
How about like 2 crab mallets crossed?
Yeah, definitely.
Well, crab mallets crossed with a crab, and then underneath of it, a spade's hand.
Our coat of arms.
Yeah, our coat of arms. You know what I'm saying? We'll do that. We'll mix it all together. So, and in fact, right before we got on here, I bought a really cool set of playing cards. So I'm gonna make sure that you're gonna get one of those to play with. It's gonna be really cool. So more on that the next time we do this. So I think this is good. This is a good wrap, a good test run, good start.
It's a start. It's a test, and I appreciate it.
No, I appreciate it. I really appreciate you and everything. So, anything you want to let the people know before we roll out?
I just appreciate being on here. I know that Sean is a really awesome person, and he's helped the comedy community keep it moving. I think that I think you need to know that. I think people need to know that because even during the pandemic, he was doing outdoor shows at a place called Birdie's Cafe in Westminster, Maryland. He is the unofficial mayor of Westminster, Maryland, which is why he speaks like a politician. And, that's why we need Sean in Westminster. So, but go to Birdie's Cafe, support them, support local businesses because that's how we're going to keep everything moving. So yeah, Birdie's Cafe in Westminster, Maryland, and then annoy Sean. Just be like, where's Sean? Why is the mayor not here? Why is he not shaking everybody's hand when we get a cup of coffee? Which he should be doing because
okay. There we go. You don't know where
should be doing.
You really don't. Listen, I appreciate you, Christy. And I mean, she's an amazing comedian who's sacrificed it all to be on the road and doing shows in New York, Las Vegas, Texas, all over, Austin and Dallas, Texas, Arizona, Flagstaff, Arizona, Tucson, Arizona, Phoenix, Arizona, and Los Angeles before it got all shut down. You were at the comedy, was it the Comedy Store? It was your spot?
Yeah, I love the Comedy Store.
There you go. You know, she's one of the best, and you know, she's got an interesting life, interesting background, and really the whole reason for this podcast, I just want to make her famous. That's all I want to do. I just want to make her famous. So
No, we're just talking about Maryland, and we're just talking about life.
indeed, indeed. Well, thank you all so much. We're gonna figure out kind of a schedule how we're gonna do this, but you'll see us more often. If you have any ideas, let us know your ideas in the comments. Things you want us to showcase. If you have a business, whatever like that, we love to support small businesses, and let's all support one another through these hard times. Love you all. You all have a good night. Have a good night, Christy.